All right, let's move on to our next speakers. I'm happy to introduce Noam Eppel and Danny Weinberger from Morpheus.Network. Gentlemen, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much. Really great presentations today. Really enjoying it. Thank you, Nico, for the introduction as well. As Nico had mentioned, my name, first of all, can you see my screen share, Nico? Yeah.
Yes, we see it fine. Thanks.
Excellent. Awesome. My name is Dan Weinberger. As Nico mentioned, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Morpheus.Network. We are a supply chain automation platform. Here today, we're excited to talk to you about the different implementations we have with our various clients all around the world. This is Ethereum being used by these clients, different blockchains, different breakthrough technologies as well. One thing I'd like to mention, you see on this cover slide of ours here that we won a couple contests in the past year. We won a contest with Gulf Tainer, the Future of Ports Award 2021. Very proud of that. Not only is Gulf Tainer the world's largest privately owned port operator, but they're now a Morpheus.Network client as well. And Noam's going to talk a little bit later about the implementation with Gulf Tainer. We also won the eea-eth prize for supply chain excellence in 2021. That was won alongside a Federated Co-op. One of the three largest food suppliers in all of Canada with our food certification solution, which we implemented for them. Noam as well, we'll talk about that in a little bit. So today we're talking about supply chains. It's what we do. My background is in supply chain. I've been in supply chain for over 20 years. And every chain, I guess you can say, is only as strong as its weakest link. Within supply chain, it might seem very simplified in this graphic over here. In every average supply chain, there's about 40 points of handling down the supply chain. You have to synchronize, the flow of the actual physical assets themselves, the flow of the documents and services. We're talking about customs brokers, freight forwarders, all these different companies, the ports as well as the flow of the money as well. So money being transferred around the world, potential multiple currency conversions as well. And all those different flows have to be synchronized for the supply chain to work perfectly. What we're seeing, this is a quote from the World Bank, that supply chain inefficiency is the #1 global problem to solve in order to stimulate economic growth. Reducing these barriers to global trade could increase global GDP by $2 trillion. They're specifically talking about those three flows of supply chain not being synchronized, falling out of place. And what we're seeing, the result of it nowadays, this quote was actually made prior to COVID and prior to the war currently going on in Europe as well. Still, supply chain issues were the #1 problem throughout those situations too, ongoing. So we're seeing that supply chain is the #1 C-suite issue. This is for businesses as well as consumers. Seeing empty shelves is not a good feeling for anybody, and that's a supply chain issue. We actually had the President of the United States back in December claim that Christmas has been canceled because of supply chain issues as well. Really amazing how it has turned out to be such a massive problem. Obviously COVID related, but all to do with the supply chain, lack of visibility, and we're getting to all the different problems as well. And besides, obviously the bottom line for businesses and consumers wanting to, buy their products that they want, there's also the hit that the environment takes, the planet. We only have one planet, of course, and it doesn't matter if a company is as clean and efficient as possible themselves. Scope 3 emissions all the way down the value chain, 80% of the CO2 emission comes down that value chain. So you have to know exactly where your products are coming from, how your suppliers are handling those products, how the distributors are handling the products as well. And right now there isn't enough visibility into these supply chains to know exactly what's going on. And that's why it's so important for new technologies to be implemented. So what are we doing? What are we doing with Morpheus? We have our middleware positioning, digital, integrated, automated global supply chains. What we do is we take the legacy technologies that current companies are using and implement brand new technologies, emerging technologies such as blockchain, IoT, machine learning, be able to connect all these different systems together. No more data silos with these ERPs not being able to communicate with the TMSs and all the different data that's flowing around through these companies. Not only systems to integrate the data, but also integrate the different stakeholders, integrate the companies, the different people, so that the shippers, the receivers are connected all the way down the line through the shipping companies, the freight forwarders, the customs brokers, the ports, and all those different stakeholders, the 40 points of handling down the supply chain, all the data brought in through our middleware to automate, create actionable data, and really optimize what businesses are doing. In parallel, as you see, our supply chain middleware sits in between all this different data that comes into our platform, which is amazing in its structure. But at the same time, given that there was some sort of compromise to our platform, if there was a nefarious user or a hack or a bug, obviously we have the highest levels of security. But given that happens, we actually in parallel have a trusted data layer, which brings in all the data that we receive in the platform as well. It actually notarizes it on the blockchain using zero knowledge proof to make make sure that that data is completely trusted, that we can refer to that trusted data throughout the entire supply chain. Trusted data in supply chains is so essential. We found great use within insurance, with finance. Obviously, people need to trust the data that's coming into the platform, and this extra layer of trust that we're adding to the data, very essential. And the trusted data we're bringing in, it's all about our integrations. As middleware, we're not looking to reinvent all these different wheels out there. We're actually blockchain agnostic. Obviously, we've built on Ethereum. We've done projects on Hyperledger as well, pushing and pulling data out of all these different blockchains. We have a ton of different IoT partners as well. Geotab in Canada, it's the world's leading telematics provider. We're actually cloud agnostic as well. We have a bunch of different enterprise software. We're connected to SAP's ERP, Oracle ERP as well. We have Demetra, John Trask, which presented a little bit before as well, integrated into the platform, as well as a ton of different shipping companies, customs brokers. We have over 200 different integrations in the platform right now. Being able to tap into these companies, they can leverage these integrations right away based on the integrations that we've already created. And based on these integrations, we have these amazing solutions. We're not looking for companies just to integrate and then figure it out for themselves. We have a bunch of standard modules we've created to exchange documents, port visibility, even creating different handling point traceability aspects like a QR code for scanning. We have different applications and portals, different UIs for our clients to use. We also have premium modules connecting IoT devices, TradeFi solutions as well, creating different documentation, bringing in data from ERPs that I mentioned, PO data directly from the ERP, as well as premium applications to do with food certification. Noam's going to speak about a great implementation we have at FCL, of course, some sustainability certifications as well, a brand protection protocol, which we've created with SAP. And we have a ton of different traceability solutions as well, farm to fork, farm to shirt, however you want to look at it. And how do we do this? Obviously, we have a great team we've put together. I'm not speaking directly about myself. I will say that my co-founder Noam, who I've known since nursery school, he's on the tech side of things. With my background in supply chain, over 20 years experience, Noam has the same experience in technology. We actually have Roger Crook on the team as well. He's the former CEO of DHL Global. His experience is unmatched in supply chain, of course. Carl McDermott's our head of business development. He's the former CEO of a logistics company with over 5,000 employees as well. Vast amount of experience across the team. One thing I'm going to point out as well, we have a massive global partner network as well. We have partners in the UK, Supply Chain Precision in the UK, Demand Management Services in Australia. We have partners in Africa, in Canada, Polaris Network down in Argentina, as well as Polaris in Spain as well. Continually growing that partner network of ours in order to scale up our different solutions. Really amazing. And I'm going to throw it over to Noam's going to talk a little bit more about the actual implementations themselves and the technology. Noam, when you're ready.
Great. So everyone should be seeing my screen now. Thank you to my very good friend, Dan, for that. I have a few minutes. I wanted to talk about some of the technology that we use in our platform. And then I wanted to talk about some of the awesome customers that we have. On my screen is a quick look at some of the key technology components that we have. At the bottom, it starts with Ethereum. So we've been on Ethereum for a long time. It's our blockchain of choice. We love Ethereum. And we're also blockchain agnostic. So for some clients, if they really did want something permissioned, such as Hyperledger, we can accommodate that. We run, on the Ethereum mainnet. We operate our own side chain as well. We have a token, MNW, which is a utility token for our platform. And then we have a middleware API. So as Dan talked about, we consider ourselves a supply chain middleware platform in the sense that we can connect to anything and everything. Currently, we have well over 100 different integrations with ERPs and SAPs and UPS and FedEx and on and on and on, and IoT providers and on. Coming up the list here, we use IPFS, which is a great document storage technology. We have partnerships with a number of different IoT vendors. We utilize machine learning. We're building up our data set now, and I think over the next few months, we're really going to expand our machine learning capabilities. We have an SDK, so a lot of our development is done in-house with our in-house developers, but for the first time in the last 6 months or so, we released a beta version of our SDK, and for the first time, we allow third-party developers to build modules for our platform. We integrate with Swift. Swift is the standard bank protocol to send any kind of wire payments. So right from within our platform, we can send payments to any banks. We can also send cryptocurrency payments, of course, right through the platform. We do a lot of tracking and tracing of packages. We have proactive notifications, so we can send alerts to browsers or directly to your phone if there's any issues with your shipment. We do a lot of document generations like automatic bill of lading and invoices, and QR codes. We utilize a lot of QR codes in our tracking and tracing of shipments. And we also have a digital footprint. Our digital footprint's amazing. It's basically for every single shipment, we generate like a one document, one page that has the entire history of that shipment, points of origin, points of handling, absolutely everything related to that shipment. So that's a key look at some of our technology. And also the workflow builder, I think I skipped over. We basically have a drag and drop workflow builder, which I'll show you in a video in a moment, to help digitize a lot of the manual processes that happen in supply chains. So one thing I'm very, very proud of is that not only do we have a great team and great technology, but our technology is in use today by a wide range of enterprises across the world and government agencies now. First, I wanted to talk about Marsh. So Marsh is the largest insurance company in the world. And when you're doing a shipment, like having insurance is a key part of that, especially if you're shipping something that's quite valuable. And today, to purchase insurance for your shipment is quite complicated. It can be a bit of a hassle. So we partnered with Marsh, and together, hand in hand, we created a module for our platform so that our customers, basically in a few clicks, can generate an insurance certificate directly through the platform. And we have a revenue share agreement with them. FCL. So FCL is one of the largest companies in Canada, and they're like a grocery store. And what we did is we onboarded their hundreds of suppliers and created a self-service management portal so that suppliers can log in and manage all of their certifications by themselves. And that's underpinned by IPFS for that secure document storage. And we use a lot of cool things like OCR to automatically pull out data from those certificates, and proactive notifications, and a lot of really, really cool things. One thing I'll mention also with FCL is that when we approach an enterprise, we don't try and revamp their entire supply chain. What we do is we find some individual pain points, and then we solve those pain points. And then once we do that successfully, then we look to grow out with that company. And so with FCL, you know, our solution was so successful with this FCL division. We have 4 other divisions now looking to jump on this platform. Golftainer. So Golftainer, our work with them started with a competition, actually. They wanted to find innovative solutions to help manage their ports. Golftainer is, I think, the largest privately owned port management company. They have ports in the Middle East and in the US. And so they had a competition looking for innovative technologies. And I believe 2,000 companies around the world applied. One day we got a notification that we're in the top 10. We thought that was amazing. And then finally, we got a notification that we actually won out of those 2,000 companies. And so that kicked off some work with Golftainer. Golftainer, the port management company, and ports are such a key part of supply chain tracking. So what we do is we have a custom solution that helps to track containers throughout their ports. And now that we have a really robust port management system, we're going to take that to other ports as well. I'm going to go a bit faster because I'm short on time and I want to have time to play a video. Vitalcan, one of the largest pet food companies in Argentina. We help track and trace their shipments as well. We work closely with Jorge Marcos, and Jorge was so impressed by our solution. He later launched a new company called Polaris.Network, and they became a close partner of ours and basically a reseller of our platform. Sinasa. So through that partnership with Jorge Marcos and his new company, Polaris.Network, we jointly started to do some work with Sinasa. Sinasa is similar to the FDA in the US. They regulate things such as pesticides. So we have a program with them to help track and trace their pesticides. And then lastly on my list, I believe, is John Trask, who just spoke a few minutes ago with Dimitra. So we're working with him. We've been working on a project in Africa and Uganda, agro traceability. And recently we found out that we actually won that project. So that's very exciting as well. And so we love working with John Trask and Dimitra as well. I have just enough time now to play a video. Hopefully the sound comes through.
Our vision is a world with more effective, fair, and sustainable commerce. Our customers and partners harvest the benefits from digitization using our emerging technology middleware. What is driving the digitization of the agri-industrial supply chain? Firstly, it's a reduction of manual documents, states, and events. A good example is paper-based proof of delivery. But we also adjust dependency on tools like email. We have customers that were previously receiving thousands of emails a day with poor versioning, time-wasting searches, and expensive storage and compute. Secondly, we support trusted metrics, specifically those around real-time inventory. Where's my product? ETA, when my product will arrive. And finally, we connect multiple platforms. Middleware digitized purchase orders, for example, from SAP. And these can also write to solutions such as Sinasa to declare product traceability. Let's use a customer case to highlight the features of the Morpheus.Network platform. Here we have a Fortune 100 beverage company that ships to 25 countries in the Americas. The challenge: reduce delays over costs and protect shelf life. Now we can easily set up shipping contracts with end-to-end traceability of imports, starting with the purchase order, including SKU, stock keeping unit, descriptions, weight, quantities, units of measure, cost per pricing, as well as end-to-end descriptors such as HS codes. We can also connect your systems of record, such as your 2A SAP instances, to digitally populate our shipping contracts and avoid any rekeying errors. Our current SAP Co-Innovate program will connect via APIs or use core data services. The Morpheus platform also includes a powerful workflow engine for automating custom workflows, such as those required. With over 100 standard and custom modules and integrations, it's easy to build and deploy workflow. Modules include documents management, IoT support for many providers such as Telefonica, AT&T, and Geotab, as well as specific modules for the US Customs release, for Sinasa export certificates, and for SAT Mexican imports. Now our customer case has over 20 documents per shipment, including regulatory, trade, and IMEX docs. When a workflow is executed, we can go and request those documents, either from people, or companies, or their APIs. We can also ask for certified trucking assets or logistics assets and assign trucks and drivers or containers and sales to those shipments. We also create our own shipping document, which is called the Bill of Lading. We support full track and trace using serialization, UIDs, as well as IoT and geofences. Here you can see clearly that we've set up a series of geofences from Mexico to the United States. And we provide timestamps and GPS stamps, as well as notifications each time a shipment reaches a particular handling point. These can all be automated. All tracking data, documents, and event handling is automatically transmitted into the platform and securely stored on blockchain, like Ethereum, and displayed as a digital footprint. In our beverage company example, we store nutritional information, product packaging, register of the trucking company or logistics provider moving the goods, in this case, FEM Transportes, and their registry with the Mexican Trucking Ministry. We also record the driver and a truck ID using the VIN number. We use the geofences to automatically zoom into areas of interest. Here we can create automatic notifications around the cross-border and specific destinations. In our second customer case, we have a shipment of pet food goods from Vitelcan, going from Buenos Aires, Argentina to Santiago, Chile.
No, are we able to stop this video? I'm sorry, but we have to stay on track.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. I see that I'm just about over time now, so I understand that we need to move on. To everyone, thank you so much for your time. And Dan, do you want to say the last word?
Yeah, we're going to be around still in the exhibit hall. So if you have any questions for us specifically, we'll try to man it as long as possible. Great presentations today to all the panelists, and good luck for the rest of the day to everybody.